So I don't know what the fuck is going on with dogs, but like, shit's getting crazy with them, dude.
Mm.
Uh, just like I want to say this was like a month ago. I was hearing some noise outside from like my room, and I look outside and there's like this pit bull, and it's and I can't like see past like my window that well, but like it looks like it's floating, right? I'm like, what
Mm.
the fuck is this floating pit bull doing? Literally, I had to go outside. I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at? And it's this fucking pit bull riding a hoverboard, like it's already not terrifying enough. It's
Oh,
fucking
fuck.
cruising the block, looking for
Yeah,
children and shit.
that just yesterday, I was with my buddies after school, and across the street from the school is a house, and on most days there's usually a cat outside the window just chilling, and I see it every now and then. While we were walking we crossed the street, and my buddy, I don't know how the fuck he knows this. We all stopped, admired the cat, and then my buddy was like, "Yo, wait a minute, that motherfucker, he looks like Hitler." I shit you not, man. He's white cat with like black patches.
Right, right.
Patches on his head that make it look like a combed over hair, and then one fucking little patch like of black above his fucking mouth. It was so perfect. Looked almost like Hitler, a bit more like Charlie Chaplin, if I'm gonna be honest, but still close enough to Hitler. I never noticed. I don't know how the fuck I did. I've seen that cat like almost every fucking day.
Man met the fucking Kanye cat, just fucking chilling
Yeah,
outside.
and that was the funniest shit ever because at the same time, like we were high as fuck. Man, I'm not gonna lie. So you gotta understand, that almost brought me to the floor because it clicked for me, and it was the funniest shit.
You know what's funny about you saying that? I had this fucking conversation with somebody just this week, um, about like, so like Nazis, right?
Mm.
Would they have like special uniforms for like their fucking animals? Would they teach the fucking dogs to be racist? Like, if they see a Jew coming, would they be like bark, bark right now? Just like fucking telling them and
Shit,
ordering.
I wouldn't even be surprised, man.
Shit,
No,
man.
shit. If you could teach a turtle to be racist, I'm pretty damn sure you could teach a dog to
Oh
be
my
racist.
god, dude, that fucking turtle.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened to Franklin, man? Fell off hard.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Shit, my uncle, one of my uncles, when I was over at his house, for the Thanksgiving holiday, I know he had a turtle. Yeah, he fixed up the basement. Now, the basement is like another floor. It really doesn't look or feel like a basement. Like it's got bedrooms and shit. So he had a big ass fish tank with one turtle. You gotta understand something about this turtle. Well, first of all, I don't know what to name it because for some reason everybody has a different name for him. Nobody can fucking agree on a name for this
Right.
damn turtle. Uh, um, I forgot what name my aunt wanted, but my uncle really wants Michelangelo.
Of
So
course, of course.
of course, and I'm down. I'm down for that. So naturally, I stuck with Michelangelo or Mikey. So Mikey the turtle.
Right.
It's kind of funny because he's more like Raph. Because even though he's in his tank, it's so adorable. You come up to him, he wants to throw hands. First of all, he always looks
Motherfucker.
angry. Always
Motherfucker.
looks angry. You come up to him, he's like, "What you want to go?" He's like swimming rapidly towards like fucking.
Motherfucker was in Fight Club for y'all took him.
I
Just
know, dude. You go up to him, he, instantly like just like turns, yo, you want something? He like starts like doing this shit, like trying to get through the glass. And I don't know. I didn't want to like irritate him, but it's kind of funny. I'd come up to him every now and then. I was like, what? Well, you want some? And every single time, and the tunnel will follow you too. You move. It's a pretty wide tank, so you move to the left. He
hey, you
starts
know
moving
what?
rapidly to the left.
The name Mike makes sense. Fucking Mike Tyson just fucking beat the shit
You know
out.
what? Yeah,
This shit makes
yeah.
sense now, dude.
I'm Mike. I'm Mike. Yeah, that is. Yeah, I'm gonna bring that up to my uncle next time. Yeah, and I think that was funny because I've never I've never seen a turtle like aggressive like that. Every time because I fucking love turtles and they've always been so nice. I've even touched the turtles before and it was fucking great. And then this one, is just pissed off all the time, and I fucking love it. You know.
He just fucking left the yard, dude. He's like, I've been battling demons. He just fucking swinging
I
and shit.
wonder. Yeah, no, dude. I wonder if he knows that he's gonna fucking outlive like my entire family, including myself.
Oh my god.
Probably right, because
Be
turtles live a long
proud.
time. Dude, I saw it 100. I saw a 112-year-old turtle once.
Oh my god.
It was at like an animal museum. Um, it was
Fucking reminds me of that. Did you see that New Year's when it was like New Year's Day and like the reporter went up to that old lady and she's like, "So, tell us, ma'am, what are you looking forward to next year?" She's like, "I want to die." He's like, "What the fuck? Why?" She's like, "I'm 92. I don't want to be in pain no more." It's like,
yeah, yeah. What
shit, man.
interviewer that went up to the kid, and then wait, what did he say? I don't know. The kid was like, "Shit, I'm gonna die today" or something. Like he was like, fuck. I don't know. The interviewer asked him like a simple question, and then he gave like some adult answers. Like, we're not even 20 yet. How the fuck is this motherfucker already stressed out? You know. Going back to the turtle, I call it well the place. I call it an animal museum, not a zoo, because it wasn't a zoo. Um, but it did have animals, but it was more about I don't fucking know. It was more about the science. It was a museum that studies animals, but has animals, but it's not a zoo because it's about the
Right.
science. I don't fucking know. But listen, they have this big ass tank with a big ass turtle. The turtle is so old that they don't even need a big tank for it because it doesn't have the strength to swim, but it's still alive. So
God damn.
it was just this big ass tank with a big ass turtle that kind of filled the tank. And like it was tall. It was like a tall tank. I don't know, man. This was years ago. But then the lady said, "So this turtle is 112 years old." I was little. That blew my fucking mind because I didn't know that turtles can live that long. That was the first time I realized turtles just might be one of the coolest fucking animals ever,
Yeah,
man.
no, they're alright, man. I've
Yeah,
never seen an aggressive turtle, but shit's
yeah,
it's weird.
that was so calm. Oh, maybe they don't feed him enough.
It's just like fucking anime arc of turtles. It's just like this is why I'm fucking aggressive now. Nah, earlier I brought up the dog because alright, so there's this man, right? His
Mm,
name is Manuel Barcia. Shout out to him. He is from Hortsforth, England. And this man, he's 50. He's walking his 15-month-old golden retriever named Ashoka. And they're going on about and his dog he brings up a big stick, he has it in his mouth, all the fun loving pet stuff, what a dog does.
mm.
And at one point he lets the leash off and he lets his dog do his thing, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna chill here. The dog leaves, it comes back, what do you think it got in its mouth? And he
Well,
guesses, and he guesses.
shit. I don't know, man. I don't know. Just, I have something in mind. How about that? You go for it.
I think it's funnier if you say what you got in mind.
I don't want
Ashoka, the little golden retriever, comes back, his teeth wrapped around a large penis-shaped vibrator.
to. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I have something slightly different, but shit.
How slightly? How far off were you?
Well, to be fair, I was thinking long and hard too. So,
What the fuck? But the thing about this is that this dog, she comes back with this vibrator in its mouth, and the owner is just dying laughing. But I guess the dog became infatuated with this vibrator because it didn't fucking put it down. And it just held it in its mouth for like 5 minutes. And this man said that he was so horrified that he didn't know what to do because he didn't want to play tug of war with it. Which I think is a very understandable thought, my man. You
they
know?
want to play tug of war with it.
His
Such a
exact quote was, I pulled myself together to go and get it off of her somehow. Shouts out to him. You gotta grab the tip, I guess. I don't.
man. That reminds me. Just today, after school, I was hanging out with my friends, with two of my friends, and we were just chilling at one of my friends' places. and out of nowhere she said, "Oh wait, you guys want to hear like something pretty traumatic?" She has dogs, and we were playing with the dogs, and for some reason, um, she was just reminded of this. She said, "Okay, so uh, she said, I think somewhere in New Jersey, in this federal prison. I don't remember the full story, but pretty much, um, the guards like they didn't want to let dogs into the guy prison because like they felt like they would fuck the dogs. Isn't
I don't believe fucking prisoners are that down bad to the point they want to fuck dogs.
yeah, but
Oh,
just
I hope not. Shit.
wait until you hear this shit. So in the female prison, because they don't have dicks, the cops figured, all right, they're not gonna fuck these dogs, so they give them dogs, and but prison also has peanut butter.
Oh man.
You probably
Yeah.
so they took the dogs away. That's like the meat of the story, but I don't really remember the full story. She didn't either. But what the fuck, you know? What in the
I
mother
don't. I
of
don't even know what I can take away from that. I guess
don't
women.
even try it.
I
Don't even
mean, jail could make you get creative. I don't fucking know. Shit.
try it. I don't know.
Poor Snoopy, man. Shit.
Yeah, but man, jail is so fucking weird. Prison is weird.
Do you
Uh,
think you'd survive jail or prison?
dude, the amount of times I had to answer this question and the amount of times that I've said fuck no, I will not survive prison, dude. I gotta be honest. Prison will not
Dude, if
be
I meet a real life Felice Johnson, I'm gonna start crying right then and there.
if Fleece Johnson was to ever be at least 15 feet away from me, and I was to catch a glimpse of this motherfucker, I just might run. Not gonna lie.
Shit, man.
Uh, I just I'm just glad that he's just far. He's far, right? He's far away.
he's
He's not.
he's got to be
Yeah.
plotting in the shadows. Like, yeah.
Imagine he comes across the podcast and he listens to us regularly, like plotting and just trying to track us down,
Oh my
and he
god, he
changes.
he knew he knew beforehand. We started doing this shit. It was a guy from fucking
He
Baltimore.
yeah, he was the guy from Baltimore. Fuck, he's
Oh
been
my
trying
god,
to track us down.
getting some booty. Just fucking starts
I
going down the
just
monologue and shit.
I love that more and more people are starting to get the reference, but not enough people though. But still, it's nice to see that people are referencing it a lot more. It's fucking great.
Oh,
I don't,
definitely, but you know damn well if it came back for real, people would shit and cancel it,
hmm
or at least try to, man, which is sad.
yeah. Oh, speaking of shit coming back, I was chilling in eighth period.
This
It
could
was
either
about
go one way or another. That's a crazy transition.
what? Oh no, don't.
That-
No, it's chill. I was chilling in eighth period, and it was almost over, and I was talking with the people at my table. We got new seats or whatever, new spots. So I'm sitting with I don't know why, but in that class it's just sophomore, seniors, and a couple of juniors, I think. But anyways, now I sit like, well, I did sit at another table, but I moved because that table, I didn't want to sit there. Simple as
right.
that. Shit. I was talking with the sophomores there, and then they noticed that the background on my phone is the album cover for MF Doom's Food album, right? You know that
Right.
one.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that one. Everybody loves that one apparently, and it makes me happy because they said that. they said that I got a cool background, and I was like, oh really? That's so cool because like not a lot of people listen to Eminem. And said, wow, really? There's a fuck ton of people in the school listening to Eminem. I said, who? Who? Tell me. And the listen, man, it's sophomores, so it's sophomores. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna,
understandable, but it's like,
I'm not gonna
damn.
talk to sophomores, but I'm just glad that Eminem Doom is become popular again because nobody fucking listens to him, which is cool. But it's kind of sad though, because like I want to talk about him Doom. I can't though. Nobody knows who the fuck he is.
It's fucking sad when, cause I love hip hop, and we try to have these conversations with like people in our class, but like, it's a mix of like sophomores and juniors, and they're all in there. It's like a whole melting pot and whatnot,
Mm,
and it's so sad when you want to talk about. I don't want to sound like an old head because I'm not even old.
yeah,
So you know, but you try to get into like modern rappers or like rappers that are relevant, but I guess they're part of the mainstream definitely, but they're not really talked about like that because of
yeah,
like there's this whole thing about being a conscious rapper and people not, especially younger people who just don't give a fuck about it. So
mm,
you try to have conversation about like I don't know like Kendrick Lamar or somebody like that, and you're
yeah,
like, who the fuck is that? And then they'll go around and talk to me about Yeet or whatever the fuck his name is, and I'm like, what the fuck, it's
yeah,
complete. Dude, I hate those people in the comment section. I was literally, it was some tweet about, this person just died or whatever, and then some guy just replied, irrelevant, L ratio, young boy's better. I was like, what the fuck?
yeah, yeah. Uh, I guess I lean more towards like old school hip hop, but new school hip hop, I still listen to it. It's just the problem is that I don't know, man. I like okay, so we've all heard that like a lot of modern day hip hop, all of it just sounds the same. It kind
Yeah,
of does. But then there's people are trying to pretend like they all sound different, like they all have like different sounds and shit. There was a time when hip hop you could listen to a song and you could tell exactly which region it came
a lot of modern music right now in hip hop, it's just Playboy Cardi influence, and it's like this squeaky voice with these like
from. Yeah,
loopy and very like intrinsic beats,
right,
which sounds kind of like the same because people will try to rap like him, but the
right,
beats are in the same style, so it kind of sounds, you know.
right. I think people's definition for what genre is kind of changed a little bit. I'm not saying for all everybody, but a good handful of people don't really know what a genre of music really is. You know, when you think about how similar a lot of music can be, you- especially nowadays, and how limited creative and meaningful work is, it really makes you think about how within this genre of music, how repetitive it could be. You can't help but think, man, do people even know what a genre of music is? I mean,
I
think
will
about it.
I will say that hip hop is strayed from its like roots of storytelling. When it
Yeah.
first started, it was about sending a message. I
Hmm.
know people make fun of like, for example, Slick Rick. People will say because they'll make fun of the flow or whatever, be like da 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 da. Like it's a very simplistic flow, but at the time it was innovative
Yeah.
and it was a flow that he used to tell a story. Now, as the years came by and when people started to pay attention more to the beats, and it was about making like these club style songs, which, in fairness, is a genre in itself. But when you start promoting these genres as the best, and you have these conversations about okay, who's the greatest rapper of all time, or anything of that nature, it just sucks to see how like actual lyricism. And
Yeah.
I know how old head this sounds. Like I'm very aware of it.
Yeah.
It's just that there's not much diversity with what's really popular because back then you'd hear like Jay Z, Nas, and all these people
Yeah.
heavy on the radio. but now not so much, and it's become more of these like instrumental beat and just like atmospheric vibe type songs.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Back then, shit was just limited for a lot of successful artists. They started from like uh such little just I don't, take for example old school music like Wu-Tang or NWA. The shit that they started out with, like they started out in their room like a lot of other artists, okay? But they worked with what they had and they basically made that their signature shit. Whatever, they had their own sound, you know.
Yeah.
Now you have all kinds of producers that create beats and then influence each other. And next thing,
Dude,
yeah,
it's so crazy how FL Studios like it
yeah,
pioneered a whole thing where you can literally make like a studio album in your fucking room, and it
hmm
sounds very corporate. It can be the most like compact and the most polished thing. When like
yeah.
back then you had to fucking beg people to give you a tryout for fucking radio play
You
or
had to do whatever it
you know.
took. You had to steal. You had to you had to like make sacrifices, any kind of sacrifices. You know, you had to fucking burn a fucking hole through your pocket. You know, you had to do all kinds of shit. But it was because people were that passionate. You know, people were
And I
so
know,
shit.
and again, I have to like fucking say this. It's not that it's a bad thing because
Yeah,
it gives a voice to more people. It's just that people are not that creative anymore in terms of music and whether it's beats or lyrics. Because even if
yeah,
you're saying, okay, maybe I can excuse the lyrics and say, okay, I'll give you a pass and let's just talk about beats. A lot of
yeah.
a lot of beats just sound the same, and
Yeah, that's
it's
the thing, and
repetitive.
it's because of the producers. Because back then, a lot of rappers had to produce their own stuff at the beginning. Nowadays, you could be like, if you are discovered and then you get signed to a label, then you don't have to do
Oh
the
yeah,
producing
TikTok
anymore.
rappers. I like the new term that they called it. It was like microwave rappers. You know, you put the
Microwave rappers.
yeah
That's an
microwave
actual
rappers.
term.
Yeah, or like microwave tracks, microwave rappers, something like that. Something about microwave where it's like you're hot for a minute and
Mm,
but you have nothing to back it up or like you're just popping for a minute. And we see it a lot with like TikTok rappers. They'll blow up for like one song and people will like chanting. You tell them
mm.
sing my chorus, all right, sing me my verse, and they don't know shit because they just care about what's catchy.
Right,
And
right.
I don't know, man. It's fucking. I guess it's for the times. Again, I don't want to sound
Yeah.
like I'm fucking hating, but you know, just an observation.
And you don't just see it in hip hop. I mean, you could apply it to almost any genre of music. It reminds me of this guitarist Zach Wild. During an interview, he was asked, "Was if Jimi Hendrix had the guitar equipment that we have now back then, do you think he'd be just a good guitarist as he is considered?" And Zach Wild instantly said, "No, fuck no."
Oh my
And then
god.
he went on saying that the reason that made the shit that made Jimi Hendrix great was because he had limited stuff to work with. The shit that made bands like Cream or the Yardbirds great was because they had little shit to work with. You know, the reason why a lot of artists become so great is because when you have such little shit to work with and then you continue working with it until you get good at it, it makes you feel good because now you're getting good at something that you want to get good at. And that's when the passion starts to spark, you know? That's
People
why
had to master their craft before they even made a
yeah,
song.
that's the thing. Nobody masters their craft anymore. Back then, people were like wizards. Wu-Tang were like a group of wizards throwing shit into a cauldron and making fucking masterpieces. Nowadays, you don't create your own magic. You're not going to Hogwarts
And
anymore to learn magic.
and it sucks too because there's actually really talented, artists, and they're not really getting the shine that they deserve.
Yeah,
And I know, we talked about the Grammys a couple of episodes ago, but really they fucking suck at picking like the actual people who deserve
mm,
the shine. I can name, JID this year came out with the Forever Story, and that was a very intrinsic, very detailed, story driven album. not a single fucking vote to be in there.
Yeah,
And it was so like confusing. I am saying this only because I know I kind of made it sound like, oh, this is the only sound that exists. No, obviously there are artists who actually take the time to perfect their, their
right,
craft and their sound. But it's
right.
just what's really popular and what's like really mainstream. It sucks that there's no diversification in it, and other people who actually do deserve to shine, they don't really get it.
Yeah. That analogy that I told you about one time, how back then it was like rappers had their own superpower.
Yeah, yeah.
How groups like OutKast, Wu-Tang, NWA, Goody Mob, each group was like their own. Like one was the Avengers, the other one was Fantastic Four, one was Justice League, and they all were teams who worked together and shit in ways. Wu Tang is by far, like in my opinion, the greatest hip hop group to ever exist. Like the greatest hip hop group to ever exist. I I'd rank OutKast second probably. Well, I don't know. Do you count them because they're a duo? So do you count them as a group or more? Would you count like a duo separately from a group?
That's a tough one. I still consider them a group, but that's the bias because I'm from Atlanta and like
Mm,
so.
yeah,
But I mean, I think a group would have to be more than two people.
yeah, but just for the sake of it, I'm just gonna count them as a group right now. Or I'm gonna rank OutKast under Wu Tang and above NWA. I have my reasons for that. But anyways, I'll get into that. But probably I don't know. But yeah, you listen to each individual member of Wu Tang separately. There's completely different flows, different styles, different rhyme schemes. The way they play around with their voice, the way they play around with the lyrics too, the way they bend lyrics to sound certain ways. It's all very different. The way they approach any type of beat, completely different. But that's what made them so fucking unique. Because for some weird ass reason, it just works together. But you really think that they were thinking about that? You really think they were thinking about, man, this is gonna sound good? Yeah, but not in a way of like, man, we're gonna become so popular in the future. They were thinking in a way of like, people are just gonna vibe to this, and that's what's beautiful about it. They were just doing shit that they knew they liked, and they knew that a lot of people liked, so they continued doing it, and it worked. Nowadays, it's different because people nobody focuses on what sounds good anymore. No, when people pump out music, they're not focusing on whether they like it or not. They don't like it for the music anymore, basically. Sure, they're pumping out music, and sure, a lot of people are listening to it, but I mean, it's just because that's just how the business works. That's the business side. Gets put out, a bunch of money is
Oh
made.
yeah, and of course, don't even mention the rappers that fucking die. They milk the shit out of them, even
Yeah,
after death. And it's like you're pumping all this. I know when XXX Tentacion died, and he still had unfinished work. They just kept pumping and drying this man fucking until like all his catalog was left, and the fans didn't want it. I'm pretty sure his family probably didn't want that because
right.
they released literally like raw like demo notes of like unfinished songs. Like that's some grimy ass shit. Like you
Yeah.
gotta have some sort of decency at one point.
Quantity over quality, man. Why is it that almost every beat has like the same type of patterns? Like the hi hat will be like, you know,
Yeah.
it's just so repetitive. When back then you would hear the drums only. If you were to isolate the drums from any track, take any track from any like hip hop artists or artists from back in the day. I'm talking from 80s all the way to like mid 2000s, and they all sound uniquely different. Okay, none of it is repetitive. Maybe take samples.
Oh, dude, I
Samples.
I fucking hate. I've already expressed this, but I can't express this enough. Jack Harlow for using that fucking Fergie sample. I hate when people will use a sample and they won't do anything innovative with it. They'll just let the
Yeah,
sample fucking do
yeah.
all the work.
There's
He doesn't
the
go.
right.
He starts off like in first class. He's just like I've been a G throughout the A. Uh, I fucked up the lyrics. It's whatever. He's trying to split. He's trying to spell glamorous, but like he just gives up halfway, and he just lets the fucking beat do all the
Yeah,
work. And I was like, dude, come on. And that's like Grammy nominated. Come on.
no, that's fucked up. There's a right way to do sampling and a wrong way to do sampling. One of my favorite samples of all time. Um, well, one of my favorite examples of a sample being done right is Jay Z's Izzo,
Yeah,
because it's just I love just nothing beats the first time listening to that song, in my opinion, because especially when you're familiar with the song that's being sampled, which is the Jackson 5, uh, and it's one of the most creative uses of a sample uh, I've ever listened to. Just the way, if you were to take just the instrumental itself, I just love how it would. The first time I listened to it, it would throw my ears off because I'd expect it to sound like the Jackson 5 song, but it doesn't. And Jay-Z's flow on that song is so good and it works. Everything just works so good on that song. I fucking love it. I don't want to sound like an old head either, but fuck, this is shit that I think about sometimes. It's not the same anymore. And the messed up thing is a lot of the artists that we are thinking about, a lot of modern day artists that we've mentioned, uh, are aware of this too.
yeah. It's
Even
unfortunate, man.
what's his name? Was it 6ix9ine? Yeah, it was 6ix9ine that openly said, "Yeah, no, I don't take this shit seriously either. Like, I know how ridiculous this shit is, you know."
What the fuck is a
And
gooba? What the fuck is a gooba? You know, just like this man
nobody
literally,
knows.
this man was reading his shit. He was like iffy, sticky with the blicky, whatever the fuck he said. What the fuck does that even
Wait,
mean?
that's $10 million right there.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
yeah.
I don't know. Just
I
about an
don't
image, just about
know.
a sound. I guess people want to vibe, and that's not a bad thing. It's just have a little bit of diversity, man. Don't just be a clone of somebody, you know.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, January 6th, Rich Neck Elementary, a 6 year old student, dude, 6 fucking years old, brings their handgun and starts fucking shooting up the school. How the
get the
fuck have we failed? To the
fuck.
point where fucking 6 year olds are bringing fucking guns. First of all, I don't want to hear no fucking mental health excuses for this shit.
No, this is getting out of hand. This is getting ridiculous. Um, where do we even fucking begin with this?
The,
A
so
6 year.
so 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 apparently like the student's backpack was searched, right? That's what they're saying, but they didn't find the gun. Really unfortunate, man. I don't even know what to say.
Did they mention anything about like his home life? Like, are the parents careless or some shit?
Uh, we'll get into it, but first, condolences for this first grade teacher named Abigail Zwerner, who taught a classroom of 20 students, was shot by the 6 year old. She was injured when a bullet went through her hand into her upper chest,
Oh my fucking god.
survived, and
Oh,
she
dude.
was escorting students out of the classroom while she was wounded. How how does this kid how does this kid have access to a 9mm? Is
Where are
my
the fucking parents and why aren't they in jail? Uh, was she the only victim?
She was the only victim. They're saying right now, uh, the shooting was not accidental; it was intentional.
Oh yeah, no, because like that
Okay, so
accidental.
so it goes further into this. It says the child was under a court-ordered temporary detention and being treated at a medical facility. He was 96 hours to appear in front of a judge who will determine whether he will continue treatment and what the next steps are in the case. What the fuck? You throwing him in juvie? I mean,
Dude, that is not gonna solve shit. What? Why? Listen, I hope they don't fuck this up. They really have to. They need to find out why the fuck he had a gun. Where the fuck were the parents? Why he would
I
even
mean,
think to shoot up the school?
the child's parents are they're gonna be charged with reckless endangerment or some form of child
Yeah,
neglect. I
I
don't know.
can't wrap my head around this because, like, uh, who who is the main person I should be angry at here? Because a 6-year-old is a 6-year-old. Don't know dick. You know, it's got to be the parents. Now I want to know what happened. Did he like go into like his parents' like gun closet or something? And why would he even have access to that? Don't they keep their guns somewhere safe? Are the parent were the parents like aware of like their child's? Oh, and this is tougher. This is a weird way of. I mean, wait, no, this is just like more peculiar because
Right.
it's a
So
kid.
so
It's a 6-year-old kid.
so it says the gun was legally purchased by the 6-year-old's mother, and then the child took it from his home. First of all, how reckless do you have to be to the point that a 6-year-old who can't even fucking reach the counter can fucking take your gun?
The fuck?
How does he have access to this?
Why am I just finding out? I I heard about a school shooting, but where'd you say this was?
This was in Virginia, I believe.
Oh, because there was one that recently happened just here in Chicago, man.
There
Did you hear about
was.
that one?
I heard about it. I'm not too familiar with it,
Yeah, I was looking into it a
but
bit.
this one struck me the hardest
Yeah, because what the fuck?
because there's no excuse for this whatsoever. There is no
Mhm.
mental health excuse.
No,
You can't point this. A 6-year-old does not wake up with like murder on his mind,
that's damn near impossible.
and we hear this all the time, and we fucking talk about this too. And it sucks that we have to talk about it all the time too, because
Mm.
these are kids that are younger than us. You know,
Yeah, they should be out in the playground, going down swings.
when we were in school, we weren't
I
we
mean,
weren't worried
sides.
about getting fucking shot in anywhere. I
Yeah,
don't think we were worried about getting now. 6-year-olds armed with guns? Nah, that's got to be parents.
yeah. When I was 6, the biggest problem in my life was flushing the toilet and covering my ears as fast as possible, so it's not loud enough.
Yeah,
That was what impossible for a 6-year-old kid to have anything against the school for the kid to, shoot up. He had to have been provoked, right? But I
yeah.
don't know.
Apparently, he just pulled it out and just started shooting.
This is so odd because why? That's the one thing that nobody knows yet. Are they looking into the why? They can't just prosecute a goddamn kid like that, you know? Uh, like you mentioned, a kid doesn't wake up with murder on his mind
No, they
just
don't.
like that. That's so weird. I cannot wrap my head around it. And nobody's talking about this either. The fuck?
It, you know, it was last year, I believe, right? Robb Elementary, the Texas shooting,
Hmm.
with the little children. I cried, because I got family there. Not that anybody was in that general area, but it really got me thinking about my own childhood
Yeah.
and how we grow up. And I don't know, man. Just a lot of people immediately go to like gun safety, gun regulations. I don't know if you heard. Uh, Chicago, I believe, just passed a law that says you can't purchase like these firearms or like these big firearms, like assault rifles. I believe. I don't remember uh what the law says specifically. But it
We
was
never need
passed recently.
assault rifles here, though. We don't need assault rifles. The fuck?
I think when you purchase a gun, people always say, it's about safety, it's about keeping my family safe.
Yeah.
But safety doesn't mean that you get to be fucking reckless and just leave shit around for your kid to steal.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, yeah, no, it's a tragic thing. And when I mentioned the Robb Elementary shooting, I did cry for that because it was so. It reminds you of being that age and then them not having the opportunity to grow up, man. You know, these kids
Yeah,
before break, dude, they must have had all this shit that they wanted to do, all these, you know, all these
yeah.
plans and whatnot, and their lives cut tragically short. But this teacher, you know, God bless her soul, she was doing what she, you know, what she was set out to do as a teacher, and just as a human being, helping her students even when she was injured herself. Uh, just barbaric, man.
It's really something. Can't
Right,
even.
right. So I didn't want to get that wrong. The new order. This was 2 days ago. The new Chicago gun law that bans the sale of assault-style weapons with as well as high-capacity magazines. So yeah, I think that's for the better. We can have an argument about gun control and all this.
Ah,
Anyways,
fuck.
but it doesn't change the fact that there are fucking terrible parents out here.
Yeah. Fuck, man. Why can't people just stop being so fucking dumb, man? I'm not joking either. I've ranted to myself in my head about this very thing. Why the fuck comp- can't people just stop being so dumb, man?
And it puts me in such a weird position to like because like you said, I don't know where to place my anger because it's a
Mhm,
fucking 6 year old.
I
Like
know.
6 year old barely knows it's left from right.
Yeah, I don't know the exact
Obviously,
source
obviously the
to be
mom,
angry.
obviously the mom, but
Yeah.
damn,
What the fuck? Did they have the gun like sitting on the counter or something? Did they have it? Did they leave it in the cookie jar or something? Did they drop it while I don't know?
horrible man, horrible, horrible.
Fucking be so. But it's not that hard to keep a gun away from a goddamn kid. Get a box, get a lock, get a key, lock the fucking thing in there, bury it. I don't know. Throw it in a just put it in your closet at the highest shelf, all the way in the back. Put it. I don't know. Put it under your bed. I've never ever checked under the bed when I was a kid. Ever. Not like under the bed. I mean like under the mattress, like between both mattresses. Never
Right.
checked under there. No kid would ever check under there because they can't even lift the shit. USA is just something else. I don't know. I was talking to a friend in Canada once,
Right.
and I casually mentioned how high schools have security, like public high schools here in
It's
the
like
city.
fucking TSA level sometimes.
Yeah, they got security, they got metal detectors, cameras. And then my friend was like, "You guys have metal detectors?"
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we got metal detectors. Security? Yeah, security. You guys don't have security? I was laughing, right? Because like
Like
they were
I'm the
so
sane one. Not you
they were
guys.
so I could tell by the voice how surprised they really were. Because for us, it's normal.
Yeah.
So I found it so hilarious, and I was laughing. And then after I was done laughing, dead silent. You have security guards at your school? I don't know. Uh, I don't know why it made my friends so uncomfortable. The fact that we have security guards, and because uh, just my friend didn't know how to answer. I still kind of found it funny, but then I started thinking, damn, are we really that fucked up? Are we
Yeah,
really?
no, it really paints a picture in your mind how bad it is when you tell foreigners, look at us, we got all the
Yeah,
security because we might get shot today.
yeah.
And they're like, what?
And the thing is, like the security, they're either good at their job or ass at the job. and there's
And
no in
it's
between.
and it's often ass. Let's be
It's
honest.
often my I got security guards that come to school high, man, and it's funny every time. But oh my god, just today some shit almost got started, and the only thing that the security guard could utter was "Hey." That's it.
Yeah, it is. I remember our security guard. There was a fight that broke out in the cafeteria, right in his face. This man is sitting down. This man is, he's a big burly man. He's probably tired at this point. It's the end of the day, and he like lets the fight go on for like, like 2 minutes, and then
Mm.
he finally, he sips his Mountain Dew or whatever, and he's like, "Hey, hey, quit it!" And he just goes about his business, back to his phone. It's like, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Security guards are cool though. Like a lot of the kids, like get along with the security guards. I've never actually like befriended any of the security guards. I've interacted with them and shit, but like I'm not like that. Like how other students are with the security guards. Like they would all like handshake and shit and like
Yeah.
have like a conversation in the hallway. Uh, I'm not like that because like there are cool security guards that like don't really do their job, but like because if the bell rings and you're still in the hallway, you're gonna get swept. They're gonna put you in the auditorium. They're gonna scan your ID. You know. But sometimes people just chill in the hallway talking to the security guards. Like the security guards aren't supposed to tell them supposed to be going to class. So I don't want to be caught up with a security guard that actually does do
Yeah.
the job, and because there we have those too. So
Yeah, speaking of people that try to enforce the rules, uh, Florida man, a little update on the Florida people.
yeah,
They're going crazy. So it turns out two people in Florida were arrested, and you won't believe the way that they got arrested. Of course, it's in Florida, so there was got to be a
yeah,
twist in there.
it's
They
got to
were
be.
actually two burglars, and how they ended up getting arrested, they ended up calling 911 to help them move the stuff that they were robbing. And that's gotta be like genius 101. When I think of Hall of Fame bullshit, I think of this. Because you know what? At first I'm like, how dumb do you have to be? And then I read Florida and like, you know what? No disrespect of course to all the Floridians. I, I don't know. But
I wish they could see my reaction. How the amount of my brain feels funny right now. What you just told me
so the
made me.
the deputies responded to this phone call on Saturday, and they came out and there was a male suspect and his girlfriend that were inside the home, uh, who entered it through an unlocked door. They saw the unlocked door. They're like, I don't know, some fishy is going on here. And earlier in the day, I guess that they watched a security video of them robbing or burglarizing this Dollar General, and they were like, "Hey, you look awfully familiar." And yeah, no, they were trying to head to New York, but I guess they just weren't lucky.
Hmm. I've gotten 28% more dumber. Um, and I just really love dinosaur nuggets. That's all I have to say. That's my only
Dinosaur
contribution.
nuggets go hard.
I feel like that's so delectable, dude. We finally, my little sister and I finally got our hands on some at the grocery store after it's been a while, and I finally got some honey mustard too, and it was perfect. That's all I have to say because that's how dumb I've been made by. Yeah,
Some people are just not cut out for the criminal life. I mean,
not at all. Not at all. Dude, there was this one guy who tried to rob a gun store with a knife.
what the fuck?
I forgot where I saw this, but I still remember vividly the page, the fucking news article, sort of. Not vividly, okay, but still I still remember just plain, crystal clear. Man gets arrested. Oh no, not that story. Man tries to rob gun store with knife, gets shotgun pointed at his face. Like, what the fuck did he think was gonna happen? I think
Man,
it was a
some says
black
he.
dude too, trying to rob a gun store ran by a white dude. So it's got to be good, right?
Oh
I
yeah,
really
definitely,
like that
man.
interaction.
Shit, man.
It was just so fucking.
Lucky that oh, it wasn't in Texas, because
I cannot wrap my head around how stupid people can be. I thought I was pretty dumb. People are really stupid. People can be really fucking dumb, man. Man, let's go back to Jay-Z, dude, because goddamn, I don't know. I
oh
don't
yeah,
listen.
dude, amazing rapper, just ugly as shit. Like we can agree on that.
Big ass cheeks, big ass lips. I don't know how the fuck he pulled Beyonce.
Dude, it was the funniest shit because like keep in mind I'm probably like fucking 13 at this point. And I'm like, yeah, Jay Z, he sounds cool. And like I'm listening to his music. I've never seen a picture of Jay Z in my life, but I'm like, yeah, I like this. And then some days somebody just like play some Jay Z in the classroom, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, I know that guy. And he's like, yeah, no. And he shows me a music video, and it's fucking Jay Z. It's the first time I've ever seen Jay Z. I'm like, God damn, just fucking.
Yeah, it's so weird looking, man.
And I'm
But
not saying that I'm like some fucking catch. I'm just saying, God damn, those lips, man. Shit.
yeah, no, listen, I'm weird looking, pretty damn weird looking. But Jay Z looks like he gives really good head. Not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie. Whenever he talks, he sounds like he's about to cry. Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah, I noticed that. I noticed that with a lot of actors or not celebrities. I've been trying to get into his music because I don't know for some reason uh, just a few of his songs appealed to me. Like I really love the 444 album.
Right.
But other than that, like I've only ever really listened to more of his mainstream stuff, like Izzo or Empire State of Mind.
I think that's the problem. I think you gotta dig deeper into his catalog. Like his earlier
Yeah,
shit was pretty raw. I like, of course, Reasonable Doubt is fucking classic. Um,
yeah, no, dude, I gotta like set. I've looked into Reasonable Doubt a little bit, and it actually sounds dope. But I gotta like listen to the album from start to finish. I want to do that. I'm probably gonna do that maybe tomorrow or Sunday. I don't
yeah,
know,
get into that.
but
I think when you become so big, right,
mhm,
and you've had all the success, you tend to like dip into other genres,
mhm,
and and that's a really good strategy because you don't if you're stuck in hip hop forever, you're not gonna grow your audience. So if you infuse the route that he went, which was hip hop and rock or hip hop and like popish songs,
mhm.
that expanded his audience. He became like a mogul. He became this. Is he a billionaire? I think he is, right?
Probably. I've thought
Yeah,
about that. It probably is.
and that's what's made him more successful.
Yeah.
Uh, but he's sick with the double entendre, just like I said, with the flows
Oh,
and all this.
definitely.
But I find his later stuff when he's like gone commercial
Hmm.
and mainstream a little bit
Yeah.
hard to get into. But the 444 album was
Oh,
incredible.
yeah. 444 was really something, and it was just something that we needed at the time when it first came out. In my opinion, we needed an album like that.
Um,
And it was just nice when it came out. It was cool. Um,
he's been saying that he's retired for like the longest. Like I'm not a rapper no more.
mm, oh, good for him. Good for him. Does he have a beer belly? I don't remember. Because if not,
No, he's pretty lean.
okay. Because just imagine next time he comes out in an interview, he's like fat as fuck.
When Fat Joe told Big Pun that he was too fucking big, like that is some grimy
That'll
shit,
hurt.
dude. When a man named Fat Joe says, "Hey, Big Pun, you're getting a little too big," shit
That's
crazy.
gotta hurt, man. Yeah, man, that's gotta sting. I'm sorry, but Fat Joe.
Out of all people, man. Shit.
The name did
You
not
know,
lie.
I always, this is how fucked up I was, but like, when I was little, I thought that fucking Fat Joe was just like Latino Suge Knight. And I thought I was so stupid. I thought it was like a double persona. And I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's Suge Knight, but he's Fat Joe too. So I'm like,
I tell myself that sometimes if I'm flipping through shorts and Fat Joe comes on, for some reason, I think that too. He looks like Suge Knight, just not Suge Knight.
yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Shout out Suge Knight. He's probably gonna die in jail. He ran over some
he's gonna
guy.
die for sure in jail. Wonder how he's doing though. You think he's you think he's a bottom now?
No, I think because he's big, he probably
Yeah, he was
gets
pretty
people around.
big. Maybe people don't really mess with him. I don't fucking know.
Did you
Listen,
hear? Did you hear fucking Snoop Dogg's new kids affirmation album where he's like
no.
teaching little kids to like love themselves? Dude, I love how every generation got like different variants of Snoop. Like he started off gangster, and then
Hmm.
he like killed a man, but nobody brings that up.
Hmm.
Like he fucking murdered a guy. Like he
I
fucking
know.
killed a man, and he
Yeah.
and nobody like. Well, people bring it up, but it's like people don't know that about Snoop. It's like yeah, we kind of just brush it off, and then he became he was always a pothead, but like I feel like his pothead era really hit big after that,
Hmm.
and then he just I don't know, he's doing like kid stuff. He's doing side quests basically,
Yeah.
and then he
Yeah.
came out with like this album where he's like fucking rapping, but it's like for kids to listen to. He's like, I love myself. I believe in my dreams. And it's like, what the fuck? I'm glad
Yeah.
you got a happy Uncle Snoop, because back then people got like, I just murdered a man and committed homicide, Snoop.
I still just cannot believe nobody really knows that about Snoop Dogg. And I hate to say it, like it's hilarious. What do you want from me? It's funny. It's just so funny to think about the fact that
Didn't he hire OJ's lawyer too? He was like, I'm gonna fucking get this.
what did he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Yeah, Johnny Cochran.
Wow, wait for real? Johnny Cochran
Yeah,
was
yeah.
his lawyer?
At one point, yeah,
No
Johnny
wonder,
Cochran.
no wonder, dude. Johnny Cochran is a damn good lawyer. I'm talking
Dude,
damn good.
I feel like if you're a lawyer, it's not even about if this dude he could have fucking blown up a hospital full of babies. But as
Yeah,
long as you put on a good act and you're like you have a silver tongue, I feel like you can like get away with shit.
no, but you have to understand, OJ during his trial, it was Johnny Cochran that was doing pretty
If
much
the
everything.
glove don't fit, you must have quit. Just fucking
Yeah, no, dude, it's fucking crazy how like he was able to completely turn the trial. It was him. It was him that turned the trial into something else. He's that good at his job. I can't even be mad at him, okay? Because yeah, he pulled the race card.
yeah, he
He
fucking
pulled the
did.
race card
He definitely
hard,
did.
but he
You
pulled it
you
off. He was
you
good
you
at it.
you bet your ass all you bet your ass during that time Domino's fucking pizza skyrocketed because everybody was around sitting
Yeah.
eating pizza watching that fucking trial go down
Oh my God.
like it was the fucking modern Kardashians
I
but like
wish I wish I could fucking because uh, from what I've heard from people who followed the trial, it was an experience that you wouldn't fully understand unless you were there.
yeah man
I can't
shit.
even be mad at Johnny Cochran. He's just so good at his job, and
Listen man, he defended them, but like no matter what the verdict says, I think we can both
he's
agree that
guilty. He's still
they
guilty.
both
Even Johnny
fucking did it. They
Cochran.
both fucking did it.
Who? Wait, both who? Oh,
OJ and Snoop Dogg, they definitely fucking did it.
yeah, 100%. Uh, no, no debate. I won't get into that because there's still people that say no, he's innocent. He's innocent.
This man
No
fucking
people.
went up to the reporters like, I don't know if this was OJ's practical prank on me. Stab, 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 just fucking doing this five emotions and shit.
Yeah, it's bad
And
when
then
you. your own lawyers think that you're guilty.
I believe now I don't know. I'm gonna get this mixed up, but OJ actually did come out with a book, and it
Hmm.
was like I didn't do it, but if I did
Yeah.
it,
Yeah, it was a hypothetical book.
but
A
if I did it,
hypothetical book.
if I
Yeah.
did it, this is how I would do it and the motive for it. And it was
Yeah.
like, dude, come on. And then
This,
like he couldn't he had to pay for like expenses or some shit, so he ended up selling the book to like the family
mhm.
who then published it. And they were like, please don't tarnish this or like don't actually say that I did it. But like in a small font, there's a small like if, like the word if in the
Mhm.
letter I. So it's I did it and then a small if in the I. So it's hidden. It's like in red. So you can't really see it. So the title literally just reads I did it.
Yeah, I see it. I see it. I've never looked at the cover. It's basically yeah,
They're like, fuck you. You did it.
yeah. This is actually kind of genius, though. If he wasn't guilty, this would actually be genius because it just looks cool. It's just um, if he was innocent, this is a pretty creative and self-aware title
Yeah, man, shit.
and cover, and I like that. But no, he's guilty as fuck. It can't get more obvious than this. Uh, his lawyers thought he was guilty. Like at first, no, of course, but towards the end, I mean, the trial, the it was so long. Uh, the case was so long, and over time, especially Robert Kardashian, and he took it hard because first of all, he was close friends with
Yeah.
Nicole and OJ, and basically he had to defend his friend's killer.
My God, man.
That's got to be so tough. And I feel bad for Robert, not only for that, but also because when he died, his family became, what they are now. And it's like,
Amanda had a shy
can't
away
tell
from
this
the
story.
fucking. You know what? Maybe that's why she dropped the sex tape. They needed new like fucking name. They didn't want to be associated with like the fucking OJ shit.
Yeah, and it worked because nobody, and I mean nobody knows that the OJ trial is somewhat connected to the Kardashians. Nobody knows this. You know why? I
Why?
know that nobody knows this
What's up?
because I didn't even know that.
Damn.
No, that's stupid. Yeah, no, 'cause fuck, I don't know. People just didn't know. Um,
Shit, man.
so
Look,
I guess it worked. I guess it worked. Sex tape worked.
never forget. Free Young Thug. If there's anything that needs to be learned, is that when you're in a trial, hire Johnny Cochran because that motherfucker will get you out of anything. He is a
He's
Saul
dead.
Goodman.
He is dead.
I know, but like, if you can't afford him, just fucking hire
Oh
him.
yeah, summon his ghost. Perform a
Fucking bring a
ceremony.
Ouija board to the trial and just say, "Hold on a
Hey,
minute, I'm getting
only
my
supposed to be
defense."
black because he'll got you. He'll have your back. Oh shit.
It'll be like a lawsuit between two white people. It'll be like still playing the race card and shit.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm sure he was just as good of a lawyer without pulling the race card too.
Yeah, man.
It's
Shit.
just like I said, he pulled it off. So I can't even be mad. He did his job. So fuck it.
Any takes away from this, man?
Any takeaway? Please, I'm not gonna say some random shit this time. Just please be safe.
If you have a firearm, please keep it away from your children.
Please do, because I mean, it's getting out of hand. It's getting ridiculous. We gotta do
Yeah, no
more.
funny
Everybody's
outro
doing
this
shit.
time. Yeah, that was gut wrenching.
Yeah.
Do better, America.